Let's get to some of your comments on our big story last night. It was about an attempt by Oregon lawmakers to ban book bans. Oregon Senator Lou Frederick introduced a bill that would prohibit school boards from banning books from school libraries on the basis of content about race, gender, sexual orientation, religion, or any other protected class. Hundreds of people filed testimony on the bill, and a packed house showed up to the first hearing. The public comment was mixed. Plenty of people thought the bill was a good idea to try and stop the people trying to ban books, especially because the majority of books challenged are either by or about people of color or LGBTQ+ people. Others say the bill infringes on the rights of parents and local school boards. We asked you, our audience, what you thought. You were overwhelmingly in favor of this bill.
I believe no book should be banned anywhere. People should be able to read what other people write, make up their own decisions.
A lot of you thought kids should be allowed to read lots of topics, even if they're uncomfortable. Nettie wrote to us, "I grew up in Oregon and was taught a lot of hard history facts. Yes, it made me uncomfortable and upset that these things happen, but we need this history so these things don't happen again. I never felt it was my fault. It is just history." And many of you don't like the idea of other people deciding what all kids can and can't read. Linda wrote, "Don't ban books. Let parents decide what their children will read, but they have no business deciding for other children." But some of you think kids should be restricted from reading some books if they contain graphic or sexual content. Pete wrote, "Our students should absolutely be allowed to read age-appropriate books, educating them on our history, which sadly includes racial and oppressive oversteps. But to hide illicit smut and sexual deviance behind these important issues is just plain demented and evil." The ban on book bans would only cover books that are challenged in a discriminatory way. A person could still challenge a book because they feel that it's too graphic for a certain age level, but those challenges are rarely successful. According to the Oregon Library Association's Intellectual Freedom Committee, from July of 2022 to June of 2023, 17 titles in school and public libraries were challenged because of sexual or graphic content. Almost all of them stayed in the libraries after review. 2 were restricted to higher grade levels, 1 was removed, but it was because the book was outdated and in poor condition. And remember, librarians look into books before they get put on school shelves too. A similar bill is now underway in Washington, House Bill 2331, which would also prohibit discriminatory book bans. And it would put a review process in place for books that are challenged. It was sponsored by Representative Monica Stonier, who was an English teacher herself.
As a teacher, I feel passionately about how I know what it's like to teach kids who are struggling readers. I know what it's like to hand them something that that gets them excited, that gets them angry, that gets them thinking, that gets them considering a perspective different than their own, and have seen how that can help motivate students to learn more about something they might not have known they had an interest in. And if we want our reading scores to go up, and if we want our kids to feel like they belong, we need to stop taking away titles where they see themselves in their school environment.
Washington's bill has passed the House and is with the Senate. We'll keep an eye on that bill, as well as Oregon's version in the coming week.